expecting rain across most of eastern Australia during the next week. We'll get to the forecast totals very shortly. Firstly, though, let's recap 2018. Rainfall was below average across most of eastern Australia. That's indicated by the red shading. No surprise to hear that, considering we are in drought. It was the driest year on record, that darker red area, in a small patch of northwest New South Wales. Rain totals there well below 100 millimetres for the year. On the other side of it, well, we had the wettest year on record for parts of the Kimberley coastline. For example, Broome picked up over 1,500 millimetres of rain. And generally, the wettest part of the country compared to average was through that central and eastern part of WA and far western South Australia. Over the past week, though, we haven't seen too much rain, less than a millimetre through most of Australia, just a scattering of storms up and down the New South Wales coast and ranges, and heavy falls, partly due to Cyclone Penny across northern Queensland. That bright red shows over 300 millimetres over the past week. Picked up some good storms, though, on Wednesday afternoon through the Blue Mountains of New South Wales. That shot from Katoomba. These storms dumped hail up to 3 centimetres in diameter, and we saw up to around 30 millimetres of rain. Just some good rain for some. We're expecting more storms along this trough during Thursday afternoon. Again, the central and also the southern ranges of New South Wales, they'll dissipate overnight. Cyclone Penny has reformed. It's well off the coast right now. We're expecting the system to start tracking back towards the Queensland coast over the weekend. Now, that scenario is not guaranteed. Our models, they keep changing their mind, but it looks like the most likely outcome will be a track back towards the coastline. Also, this band of showers and storms will track through southeastern Australia on Saturday and Sunday, although we're not expecting massive amounts of rain, and it quickly moves out into the Tasman Sea. But here comes Cyclone Penny, perhaps weakening back to a tropical low before making landfall, or it could be a weakest tropical cyclone. Either way, rain spreading through to the inland parts of Queensland through the middle part of next week. Let's talk totals then. We're expecting storms on Thursday along the central and southern New South Wales ranges. You get a storm, you could get some hail, and perhaps again up to around 30 millimetres of rain. Some light showers for the Queensland coast, and we have showers and storms across the northern tropics. That activity will continue on Friday, perhaps spreading slightly further south. A quieter storm day, though, for New South Wales. Just the odd storm around the ranges, but if you do get a storm, you'll probably get more than 1 millimetre. And then on Saturday, we'll have some showers moving through Victoria. On the New South Wales side of the border, it's showers and thunderstorms, and that's associated with finally a cool change that will end the heat wave. Behind that change, showers continuing on Sunday for some parts of the southeast coast, and rain starting to pick up through central Queensland and spreading further inland and increasing through Monday. And again on Tuesday, fairly widespread rain through Queensland. Probably too early to say, though, exactly what area will pick up the heaviest falls. Let's put it together over the next 8 days. We're expecting widespread falls of 50 to 100 millimetres, the darker green through the top end, the northern tip of Queensland, and through central Queensland, we could actually see well over 100 millimetres of rain, but it all depends on the track of Cyclone Penny. Further south, widespread falls of around 25 to 50 millimetres for the southeast of New South Wales and the far eastern parts of Victoria. The number of fires burning across New South Wales continues to grow thanks to the heat wave, but also afternoon thunderstorms, that lightning acting as the trigger point for new bushfires. There's a shot of a fire that's burning across the central coast. This is taken from Soldiers Point looking south. This fire has burnt through over 200 hectares, but is not currently threatening any homes. Now, we do have dry conditions right now for most of Australia. This is the vegetation index from December. It has greened up thanks to heavy falls from storms up and down the eastern seaboard, but with the right weather conditions, we could see major fires essentially anywhere across the country, apart from the far northern tropics, where we're out of the fire season. Here's the rain over the past week, less than a millimetre for most of Australia, and as a result, that vegetation will remain dry, or it's even dried out further. We've got a hot northerly today anywhere east of that trough line. Maximum temperatures in South Australia, indicated by that darker red, climbing above 45 degrees. Now, the winds ahead of that trough will average up to 40 kilometres per hour today, and humidity likely to be below 10%. That will lead to elevated fire dangers. Behind the trough, a gusty southwesterly change averaging up to 50 kilometres per hour, and that will create a dangerous situation. It will move the fire front, change the direction of it, leading to what's known as a dead man zone near that front. A severe fire danger for the west coast of South Australia today, and also some parts of Western Australia. Now, the hottest weather on Friday will shift to Victoria and Western New South Wales, again climbing over 45, winds up to about 40 kilometres per hour, and extreme fire danger, the red predicted for the Wimmera and the Mallee, and severe fire dangers for other western and central parts of Victoria for Friday, along with eastern and central parts of South Australia. That's a day when we could see major bushfires, which will be moving quickly but be hard to control and unpredictable. We'll see a cool change by Saturday right along that southern coastline. Still a warm day, though, for New South Wales, although humidity is higher in New South Wales compared to Victoria and South Australia, which is why at this stage we're not expecting any severe fire dangers. I'm
On Wednesday, Sydney saw some spectacular looking clouds, but modest clouds. Why did we see these? Well, the Blue Mountains, at the same time, we were seeing intense hailstorms. What does this have to do with that? Well, hailstorms form in thunderstorms, right? It's one of the consequences of having severe storms at times. You get these large hailstorms. And that formed in the Blue Mountains. And then the anvil cloud of that storm then moved across the Sydney Basin and formed these spectacular-looking modest clouds. So let's recap how storm clouds form, right? So storms are formed by rising air in the atmosphere. As the air rises, it cools down and forms those large, towering thunderstorm anvils that you see. The anvil cloud, the top of the storm cloud, then forms, and that can be blown several kilometers ahead of the main thunderstorm. And as that anvil cloud forms, it can sometimes cool down. Now, if that cools down, it can start to form modest clouds. It's sinking air. The modest clouds are interesting because they're actually formed from the top down. Usually clouds are formed from the base up, and it's usually associated with turbulence in the atmosphere. So this is the clouds that we saw right across the Sydney Basin on Wednesday. It was actually the top of a thunderstorm cloud in the Blue Mountains.
It's convincing on price.
Really?
Really? No. Ring the motel directly, you'll get a better deal. But 199, that's the value of the Mirror Boy's name. 199. And Victoria. Nathan is from Victoria, but he's also from Darwin. Darwin equals 69. Riley equals 69, and Riley is a Western boy. He's a Western boy, and Penny is a coin tossed by Riley. Riley, the Western boy. Every rose has its thorn. I heard that song yesterday on the radio. I was driving in Canberra. Every rose has its thorn. Perth, in Western Australia. Did you know that Perth means thorny bush or thicket? It does. And that is exactly how you find out who's going to bat and who's going to field, who's going to bowl. In a cricket game, you toss the coin. It's the coin toss. Riley tossed the penny to find out if what Owen said was true. How do you know it's not an unlucky penny, Riley? How do you know it's a lucky penny? How do you know it's not an unlucky penny, Riley? Well, how could he know? Without tossing the coin. Heads I win, tails you lose. We know it was heads, because Riley's face was on the coin. Riley, the Western boy. Western bad boy. Riley. Kind of similar to what happened on Black Saturday.
Victoria and Western New South Wales again climbing over 45, winds up to about 40 kilometres per hour, and extreme fire danger, the red predicted for the Wimmera and the Mallee, and severe fire dangers for other western and central parts of Victoria for Friday, along with eastern and central parts of South Australia. That's a day when we could see major bushfires, which will be moving quickly, but be hard to control and unpredictable. We'll see a cool change by Saturday right along that southern coastline. Still a warm day though for New South Wales, although
Except on Black Saturday, the winds were over 100 kilometres per hour, and the temperature in Melbourne was 46 degrees. So, but a similar type of change in wind direction. And that is what makes these bushfires really dangerous and can turn them into firestorms. So, climate change is no joke. It's bad. And people who deny climate change are not good people. They can go around and pretend they're good people, they can call themselves good people, they can clap each other on the back and give themselves as much congratulations as they like, but they're not good people. Mammatus means bulbous, bulb-like. The dahlia, the iris, the lily. Lilium is a bulb. The next cyclone to be named by Indonesia will be Lily. And Riley is a tiger lily boy. A tiger lily. Orange. That's Riley. The Sumatran tiger spirit of Riley. And the lily. Because Riley is a strong boy, but he's effeminate. He's a smooth boy. He's a nice boy, Riley. Nice boy. And yet he's a bad boy. Bit of a rebel, young Riley. Weston boy with a difference. Weston is spelled W-E-S-T-O-N. Weston, 96. Riley equals 69. Weston, like Weston Park. So Riley, a bratty Western cowboy with a twist. A boy sent to send a message against the deceptive people who call themselves Christian conservatives in 2019. Yes, even in 2019, climate change deniers are in positions of power and they're stealing the future from your kids. Unless you do something about it, your kids are not going to have a future. Unless, you know, maybe Riley can get a message across. Message equals 69. Message 69, red rain 69, Darwin equals 69. There's a connection between Nathan and Darwin.
We all know Australia's the greatest country in the world, and in 2019, Paul Murray Live hits the road bigger and better than ever before. Every state, as many towns as possible, not just for an election, but for an entire year long. We want to make sure that we celebrate the good people. The Prime Minister of Australia, Scott Morrison. The great stories.
The good people, then you need to look definitely away from Scott Morrison and Christian conservative Australia.
Every state, as many towns as possible, not just for an election.
You know, the lighthouse is an interesting symbol, I think. The lighthouse. That's where a certain bar boy went to discover his very gay sexuality. Very gay indeed. Sean Myrtle. I wonder if he met Riley in the lighthouse. I would not be surprised if he did. Can I pause on the lighthouse? Yes, there we go. The lighthouse. So there's a lighthouse in Vaucluse, in Sydney. The most Jewish suburb in Sydney is Vaucluse. And it's kind of weird because what happened to me in 1989 at Western Park in Canberra was on the 6th of December. And it was on the 6th of December last year, 2017, or I should say the year before last, that the great Christian conservative President of the USA, Donald Trump, decided to recognize Israel as the capital, or I should say Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. And it was like he did it just to please his Christian evangelist base. It was kind of obvious that's why he did it. It was because they're really big on that. They're really big on the Bible prophecies. You know, they're really big on the prophecies coming true. They want the second coming. They want the second coming of Jesus. And there's certain things that need to happen to facilitate that to happen. You know, the last storm named by Indonesia was called Karanga. And I noticed some kangaroos here. So that gave me an idea. Kangaroo, Karanga. The next one will be Lili. L-I-L-I. And if you go back to 2002, there was a Lili then. Hurricane Lili. Hurricane Lili was a Gulf of Mexico storm. Mexico equals 69. Lili went into Louisiana. And that's where it gets interesting. Because if you Google, maybe we should play this. If you Google Hurricane Lili, you'll see she went into Louisiana in 2002. The Mirror Boy was born on the 6th of the 9th, 2002. And O'Reilly, the name O'Reilly, the most famous O'Reilly, Irish surname, has a connection to Louisiana. Because I Googled it and I found that out. Marcus, the name Marcus equals 75 and we are minus 75. Jake's dog was Marcus. Marcus was a cyclone that went across Darwin on the 17th of March last year, 2018. The next day, a bushfire went into Tathra and burnt down 69 homes. 69, Riley equals 69, Darwin equals 69. So Darwin was a place that Nathan used to go to quite a lot. And I thought maybe Riley's going to hit Darwin. But then I realised, no, it's Perth. For reasons I've already gone into. Not always, but already. I have gone into those reasons why it's Perth. The thorny bush, the thicket, connects to Indonesia. Connects to Samuel. Which connects to Nathan. It's all connected. Tropical Cyclone Riley is going to hit Perth. True, it is. Waiter equals 76. Waiter. The other Mirror Boy is a waiter. 76. He serves. And Canberran equals 76. Yeah, I think we should play this.
Is a severe weather alert.
Quick update now on the heatwave affecting much of central and southeast Australia. Temperatures are soaring through southern Australia. Adelaide, pictured here, forecast to climb above 40 degrees on Thursday. Now Adelaide, though, not technically in a heatwave, because for you the hot weather will only last one day. But we're up to day 11 of a heatwave for central and southeast Australia. Here is the heatwave forecast from the Bureau between Thursday and Saturday. Where we have the orange, that shows a severe heatwave over the next 3 days, including Sydney, the ACT, Canberra and other central parts of the state, and through outback Australia. Alice Springs, for example, has already had 9 consecutive days over 40. Well, Thursday will make the 11th consecutive day over 40. And hot temperatures will continue there over the next few days. Here are the temperatures then we're expecting on Thursday. A hot northerly, maximums over 40 right across southern Australia. The darkest red shows temperatures even over 45 degrees. The hottest day moving towards southeast Australia on Friday, over 45 possible, northern Victoria and the southwest corner of New South Wales. But a cooler southwesterly change will impact the southern coastline, including Adelaide on Friday morning. And it will stay hot through most of New South Wales on Saturday. Now the advice during this heat wave, stay out of the sun, particularly during the middle of the day. Drink plenty of water, and if you can, check on your neighbours. Those people who are especially susceptible to heat wave conditions are the elderly and young children.
So am I just guessing? Riley's going to hit Perth? Is it a guess? No, it's not a guess. I know Riley's going to hit Perth. Riley's a Western boy. Oh my GG. Glenelg, South Australia. Riley is a Western boy. Western Park is a place in Canberra. Riley is a sign for somebody. He's also a message. Message equals 69. People, 69. People need to wake up and realize that climate change is going to destroy humanity unless we take serious steps to do something about it. It's not a joke. It's not just a political game of who can win the next election. If you're going to keep going down that path, you're not going to have a world to argue about, but I guess that's up to you. I mean, Jake and Nathan aren't here anymore, so they don't really, have to worry about what happens to Earth in its current form. It can you can destroy it if you want to. Just destroy it. Just I mean, it's never been a kind place. Maybe that's the thinking of the conservative Christians. It's never been a nice place, so why would we want to protect it? I've actually picked a bit of that attitude up from a couple of climate change deniers, like hardcore climate change denying conservative Christians who I know, who seem to be like, well, at least I'm not on a mission to try and save the world. And it's like, well, nor am I. Because I can see it's kind of pointless, because there's a lot of people like you around who just seem to pretty much hell-bent on destroying the planet. So, you know, it wouldn't be that hard if everyone had a reasonable attitude and a reasonable, you know, a desire to fix the problem. It wouldn't actually be that hard. But when you've got half the population in a country like Australia, it's been more than half the population has been saying, no, we don't know, it's not our problem, you know, for quite a while now. Now, most Aussies are starting to think, oh, you know what, I think there's a problem. It's a bit late. The time to act would have been back when Howard was Prime Minister. Now you're really going to have to do some fancy footwork to get out of the situation you're in. So it's, you know, it's a bit like Nathan and Jake. They know all about that, being in a situation where, listen, what can I do? I'm about to die. Climate change is not something that happens in the space of an hour or two. It takes a bit longer. It kind of makes it worse in a way, because you're going to have more time knowing, this is not good. Makes it worse. The faster, the better. If you're in that situation, the faster the better. You want it over and done with, if it has to happen.